All right. Hello, hello. Okay, are we live? I think we are live. There we go. There we go. Hello, everybody. Shoot. We don't need that echo, do we? All right. There we go. Let's mess around with this stuff. Much better. There we go. Yeah, that'll be plenty good. Plenty good. All right, let's check my audio here. I got no audio. You guys get audio, but where the heck's my audio? That's not fair. All right, let's fix that right now by going to System, Sound. That would explain it. That would explain it. Now I should have some audio. Do I hear Mr. Gray? I do hear him. Okay. Cool, cool, cool. Hello. Hello, hello, hello. How is everybody today? All right. We are going to be chatting and looking at some fun paranormal clips, but not just any paranormal clips. I want to look at the ones that inspired you guys, that maybe you thought, okay, this might actually be something paranormal. Flower, welcome in. How are you on this terrifying Tuesday? How are you doing? I hope everybody is having a fantastic Tuesday. We will also be just chatting and talking about whatever. First thing I guess we should talk about is the video that came out yesterday. Pomp, I'm at work, but watching where I can. Thank you. Appreciate you, Pomp. Where do you work? Just out of curiosity. I'm good. Just got home, says Flower. Yeah, me too. Me too. Still, usually you see me in the work clothes because I don't have that many clothes, but I also just kind of like wearing this stuff. So, Kit Ford, good to see you. Good to see you. All right. I'm starving. Yeah, I just got some Taco Bell. Highly recommend. Highly recommend. Oh, I'm on the Fireball screen, aren't I? Yep, I'm definitely on the Fireball screen. All right. We'll switch over. This was just what I was watching. What I was watching before, checking out Mr. Gray's new channel. If you haven't seen it, it's Multiverse of Mr. Gray. I like it. I do like it a lot. Anyways. Yeah, let's start with, I think, talking about the live stream Seg did yesterday. Just touch on it. Personally, I liked, I don't remember their names. Haunted something. Let me look. Let's just look. Let's look at the side-eye guy. There's side-eye guy. Let's look at the live. No, go to live. Thank you. Haunted Souls. There we go. Haunted Souls. I thought they seemed like lovely people. Thank you, Flower. I didn't see that, but yeah, they seemed like absolutely lovely people. And you know, I thought he was very level-headed, and I thought his points made sense and kind of just reaffirmed what we already knew. I'm not going to touch on the drama, or I do not want to call it drama. I don't want to touch on that subject for too long. I think we all kind of are caught up on it. I know I am. But yeah, I thought it was well done. It was a good job. Gave us a lot more insight to what I think we already suspected and kind of confirmed a lot of that stuff. I was also very interested, and this is something we should talk about, in the ghost tour, or the ghost tour scene in general. I did not realize it's kind of like it's so lucrative, and there are just so many people doing these ghost tours and ghost events. Maybe I should say events. It seems like there's a lot of event companies out there that are just are doing this stuff, and I've never really seen them. Shared where I can. Thank you so much, Pomp. I really appreciate you. I appreciate you. Anyways. All right. But yeah, I thought today we would look at some of the classic ghost clips. Maybe even some Nuke's top 5. We'll see. I'm actually going to show you guys something real fast. Something that hasn't gone out yet. Where are my videos at? There we go. Videos. Oh no, I want to look at my shorts. I'm going to show you guys the funny shorts I've been making just because. This is the one I did today.
One of them caught our eye, the one in the center. He would neither go towards the feeding grounds at the edge of the ice, nor return to the colony. Shortly afterwards, we saw him heading straight towards the mountains, some 70 kilometers away. Even if he caught him and brought him back to the colony, he would immediately head right back for the mountains. With 5,000 kilometers ahead of him, he's heading towards certain death. But why? One of them caught our...
What do you guys think? Am I funny or am I not funny? I think I'm funny. But, you know, public opinion is probably a more accurate portrayal of if I'm funny or not. I laughed pretty hard at that today. I've got all these little clips I see on stuff like Instagram, and I'm like, I could so talk about debunking with this. So I kind of just started posting them for the love of the game. Also, look at this one.
One of them caught our eye, the one in the center.
What's going on here? That one. Flower says, I like you. I think you're, I can't read the other word. I think you're funny. Thank you. Thank you. I like to think so. Not that that's the main point of my channel, but we should find humor where we can. And there's a lot of it with the paranormal field at the moment, I have to say. A lot of humor. Okay. Anyways. Yeah, so I'm posting a couple shorts a day cuz usually I find clips in the morning and I'm like I think I can post about that. Okay. The first clip I kind of wanted to touch on. It was one I remembered just before the live. It was a ghost mountain clip. And I'm going to look up ghost climbing a mountain. I can't see through my microphone. Ghost climbing a mountain. I don't think that search is going to work. So if anyone remembers what I'm talking about, please clue me in. But it was like this little, it was such grainy footage. Where is it? Where are you? There's way too many Mount Everest clips on here for me to find this, huh? That's unfortunate. Well, not off to a good start. But what I am going to do is go to my backup plan here. And if y'all have any clips, feel free to put them in the chat. But I remembered this the other day when we were talking about just old stuff. Y'all remember the lost tapes? I used to love the lost tapes. And people don't make shows like this anymore, like found footage style. It's so cool. Looks like Lost Tapes has been getting some love recently. I'm seeing some interest here. 70 videos. Lost Tapes. Which one do we even watch? There's so many. All right, we've got Zombies, Kraken, Strigoi. We might watch Strigoi. I remember liking that one. Poltergeist. Ooh, maybe we should do the... I don't feel like I've seen Poltergeist. So maybe we should watch that. Yeah, I'm thinking Poltergeist. Let's see if Lost Tapes knows what they're talking about with some poltergeists. We're going to see how accurate this is. Welcome in, everybody. I hope everyone who's joining is having a fantastic night. We're going to watch some poltergeists here. Inspired by possible truth. Interesting. All right.
Oh my god, you did not. So then...
So, for anybody who hasn't seen these, they are found footage style, so they look very, like, you know, they look very, like, amateur films, kind of, but they're so good. They're so good.
Hey, Megan, I'm making a video for Grandma and Grandpa. Want to say anything?
Yeah. Get out!
You're not doing anything. You're just
Oh.
emailing on your stupid computer.
No, I'm not
How old is this? Because they're hitting me with the like 2000 early 2000s cringe humor here. 4 years ago it was uploaded, but it's way older than that.
Emailing on my stupid computer. If I was emailing, then you wouldn't see my mouth moving. Like this. Get out.
Why do you hate me so much?
Well, that would take all night. Get out of my room.
Fine, then I hate you too.
Oh. Which one do we think has the attachment? Let's call it early. Do we think it's gonna be this guy or this girl? Because you know it's always a kid. They always attach it to the kid. Oh. My gut tells me if we want to go with the research says it's the girl. It's almost always the girl. But also I'm kind of thinking because she was angry about it, you know? She got a little angry and all of a sudden that bear flew off the wall. That's what I'm leaning towards right now, but my gut is telling me it's the boy. Fine.
Oh my God, you're such a freak.
I'm not a freak!
Okay. I have my suspicions. It might be the boy.
There are creatures science refuses to recognize.
There's something down there!
But if our eyes see it, if our
How's the volume,
cameras
by the way?
capture it, does it exist?
Them, they're monsters!
Lost tapes. Do you believe? Poltergeist.
Just in case anybody's wondering.
In
I
May
do believe the paranormal is out there. I think it's just very rare, and unfortunately, it's been very hard to reproduce any of it in the lab setting. Maybe even impossible. Hopefully not, but
2005,
We'll see.
the Golden family moved into the house of their dreams in the sleepy suburban town of Lakeview, Colorado.
okay.
But those dreams were soon shadowed by unexplainable occurrences that seemed to surround their son, Troy.
I should have gone with my gut. I should have gone with my gut.
After Troy's sister Megan was nearly crushed by a falling bookcase, Mark and Jen Golden decided they could no longer close their eyes to the growing danger. Unsure of where to turn, they reached out to parapsychologist Dr. Jeremy Reinhold and agreed to be filmed for his television series.
He does look like a parapsychologist. I don't know. I feel like the parapsychologists they bring, Justin brings on the Paranormal Monkey podcast, do kind of have this look.
What Jeremy
I'm
and his
making fun of
team
myself. I feel
eventually
like maybe that
encountered,
guy looks
however,
like me.
went far beyond the explainable. These are their tapes.
Lakeview, Colorado.
Guys, I've been missing the chats
Parents of
so
11-year-old
bad. I'm
Troy-
sorry. He also looks like the guy from You. Have y'all seen You? I'm so sorry, Tina girl. Welcome in. Alyssa. I didn't know this was a TV show. I found a channel on YouTube, the Tape Library, but it's definitely not the same thing. Yeah, no. I am so sorry, Flower Coven. I did not see any of the chats moving. So I am paying attention now.
Golden believed their son is exhibiting powers of
Creeps.
telekinesis.
Good evening, everybody.
Harmless enough, until he
Good night
allegedly
for some
tipped
ghost
the
vids.
bookcase into his sister's
Absolutely. Terrifying Tuesdays. We're starting with Lost Tapes here. This is about a supposed poltergeist. It's a found footage TV show, so
sister,
this is
without actually
definitely
touching it.
fictional, but
My team
let's
and
see
I
how
have planned
accurate
to
they are.
determine whether these powers are real, and if so, how Troy can learn to control them. I'm Dr. Jeremy Reinhold, and we investigate the paranormal.
Accurate portrayal so far.
Why don't you start out by telling us when the activity surrounding Troy started?
I'd say it's when we moved into the house, pretty much about 4 years ago.
And then there was the incident with Megan.
Yes, and that was pretty huge.
The incident with Megan was a falling bookcase, in case anyone missed it.
So that's why we called you. It's, you know, I just don't want my kids to be in danger.
But Troy is a really good boy.
He's wonderful.
He's never hurt his sister before.
No, we understand your fear and concern for your children, but we are confident with our experience, we can determine what type of activity it
These guys,
is in this house.
I think probably
hey, credit where it's due. House calls are tough. Paranormal Brew, welcome in. How are you? Samantha, good evening. Hope everything is well. Hope everything's good with you, Samantha.
The best thing for us to do now would be to probably talk with Troy directly, if that's something you'd be comfortable with.
And you'll find out the situation with the bookcase. Because that's it. I cannot have my kids hurt.
Well,
I
don't have
love my
bookcases in
children
the house.
very much.
Problem solved.
And whatever.
Yeah, please, it's fine to talk to Troy. Whatever we can do to help.
Great.
The term poltergeist is German for noisy spirit.
Poltergeists are more often felt, heard, and smelled rather than seen. Some of them are mischievous. They like to play jokes and pranks. Others are downright malicious. They can cause...
Okay, I have a conspiracy for poltergeists I want to run by y'all real fast. And it goes like this. I think poltergeists are some kind of manifestation of the subconscious for a particular person. And the reason I think that is because I used to use the Ouija board a lot as a kid when I was like 14 or so, right? I used to use it a lot. And the one thing I noticed was like the way the conversations would go. It was always super playful. And by the way, the Ouija board, there's no doubt about it, is the ideomotor effect where you're subconsciously moving it. You're moving the planchette around and you don't realize it. But anyways, the way those conversations would go a lot of the time is remarkably similar to the kinds of interactions in poltergeist cases, especially the one from the 50s. Who was it who had a great show they did on it? It was a whole podcast series, super famous podcast series. It's skipping my mind right now, but knocking on the walls to answer questions, talking about how like their favorite TV characters, and that all sounds very like subconscious behavior, which I think is also the route they're kind of going with this lost footage here. So
Physical pain,
kind of
nightmares, severe psychological upsets, and that can escalate over time to increasingly violent acts.
Hold on one second, I gotta exit.
Hey Troy, check this out. It's a thermal image camera. It'll record your body temperature. Pretty cool, right?
Okay, Troy, I want to see if you can do something for me, okay?
The Battersea case, thank you.
Just
Sorry,
make sure you
I'm
look at
missing
this
chat.
pen
YouTube's
and try
chat
and
seems
move
to be
it
going
without
kind of slow
touching it.
today.
I told you I can't do that. I'm not a freak.
No one said you
You're
were
not
a
a freak,
freak.
buddy.
I mean, look at me. I've got wheels for legs. I'm not a freak.
And even if you could do it, Troy, we wouldn't think that about you, okay?
Everything's still reading normal?
Okay, so let's just try it one more time. Just look at the pen.
I told you I can't do that.
Agony Goose,
Well,
you nailed it
thermal
with
image
Battersea.
is way hot, and I just got a spike of EMF.
I just got a spike of EMF, and the kid looks very hot. Ooh. Context.
Troy, how did you
No
do
one
that?
clipped that.
I don't know. When I get mad, weird stuff just happens.
Telekinesis is the ability to
This is
move
holding up
or
well, I
to
have to
affect
say.
objects with the mind.
It has been reported in occult, paranormal, and metaphysical lore for centuries. A more recent term for it is psychokinesis.
Some parapsychologists
No, not quite. Not quite. I feel like poltergeist, in whatever way you want to think about it, is ghost related, and they're trying to say it's telekinesis, right?
attribute.
I kind of agree with them. That's not really what they say poltergeists are in the current ever-changing definition of a poltergeist.
The work of the poltergeist to RSPK, recurrent spontaneous psychokinesis. Psychokinesis being mind over matter.
Teenagers, adolescents have extra psychic energy is kind of bottled up inside. So the theory is that poltergeists are projected out from these people.
There seemed to be a lot of correlation between the experience of poltergeist-like phenomenon and highly emotional states in human beings, especially emotions like anger.
When Troy became agitated, we saw a clear example of true telekinetic abilities.
That pen moved. Did you guys see it? Wayne, welcome in. That pen just moved. Explain that. Explain it.
The Goldens have given us permission to set up surveillance cameras in Troy's room. That way we can observe him overnight.
A little weird that the parents agreed to that. What am I looking for? Where's the string? We're clean. Ooh, the witching hour. Ooh, I didn't even notice that. Good catch, Tina. Troy. Oh my god, I'm sorry. That happened so fast. Wow. The Troy really took me out of it because that was clearly like I mean obviously it was added in post because this is a TV show, but like it just sounded like some random guy on the production team just like went up to the mic and was like, "Troy." I'm going to replay that. That was pretty good. Okay, door opens. All right, some wind in the hair. Troy. Oh, Wayne. This is a TV show called Lost Tapes. It's I think it was around in like the 2010s. So they say it's a recreation based on events that might have happened, but it is very much a recreation. Troy. Oh man. We're seeing how accurate it compares to the modern day investigations. So far, it's held up well.
Our intention of showing you this surveillance footage was not to frighten you.
The knife was in his bed.
We don't even have a knife that looks like that. I don't know how this could be
Hey,
happening.
Bear.
How's this
It's
happening?
like, yeah, no, I'm out. I'm out of here. They do put the drama.
What we know
in
at this point is that whatever is causing the activity in the house
These are
is
some
very aggressive,
B-movie actors,
and it's
for
connected
sure,
to the
Alyssa.
emotions of your son. What we'd like to do is remove Troy from the equation and see if we can pinpoint exactly what's causing all of this.
It's Troy. He's causing it. Aren't we leading up to
You
that?
had mentioned that you had sent Megan to your family's house. We think that it would be a good idea for the both of you and Troy to spend the night there tonight as well.
Okay. Yeah, sure.
Inside the house, we're currently setting up surveillance cameras to capture any anomalies. Audio
He almost
equipment
sounds like
to
Cass
detect
from
any electronic
Supernatural.
voice.
He does sound like Cass from Supernatural. I haven't said this, by the way, but my favorite all-time TV show is The Supernatural. I'm going to show you guys something real fast. This is my new journal that my brother got me that I take on investigations now when I'm taking notes and actually investigating. And it's Sam and Dean's dad's journal. Is this a reenactment? Yeah, Wayne, it is a reenactment. So this is a fictional show, but yeah, I cannot get enough of the Supernatural. I'll probably watch it after this. Okay, back to it. I just had any chance I can talk about Supernatural. Pretty sweet journal. Thank you. Thank you. I do not know where he got it. But
Then
I'm
we're
sure
going to clear the
it's
house,
online somewhere.
rig ourselves with cameras, and then Christy, Schatz, and I are going to spend the night alone. No crew.
Paranormal investigators use
with no big camera crews following us around.
There's a variety of equipment, such as cameras to capture orbs or balls of light seen in photographs, electromagnetic field meters indicating ghostly energy.
The
Joe
paranormal,
Nickel,
by its
from
very
the Skeptical Inquirer. That was Kenny's predecessor right there.
Electromagnetic field meters indicating ghostly energy.
Skeptical Inquirer magazine. Check it out if you haven't. It's a great magazine.
The paranormal, by its very nature, defies scientific exploration. The phenomena can't be run through controlled tests. It's spontaneous, it's capricious, it's highly subjective.
Some of the most frightening things about poltergeists is their unpredictability.
Sometimes you don't even know why you're under attack. You don't know when the attacks are going to occur, or what they're going to involve, or how to defend yourself against them.
And we do salt. Did Supernatural teach them nothing?
Okay, are we set?
Yeah.
Yep.
All right, Shots and I are gonna go check out the rest of the house. Christy, I need you to stay downstairs and monitor audio frequencies for any EVP. Are you cool?
I'm cool.
All right. If anybody gets anything, just holler.
How are they monitoring audio frequencies? Like, they just, I'm sure she's got headphones, right?
All right.
Anything?
I do like the found footage style. Bring back found footage.
Not getting much in here. 0.01, that's about it.
Christy, we're gonna check upstairs.
Sounds good. I'll see if I can pick up anything from the lower frequencies.
Yeah, that stood out to me as well. Don't listen to the audio itself, just some frequencies. Yeah, just look at the frequencies. See if they stand out. Headband with the camera shots mean business. So true, creeps. So true. I like where your head's at, Agony Goose. Keep up the critical thinking.
Still nothing?
Pretty clear.
Wouldn't it be a huge plot twist if the guy who looks like the guy from You just killed everybody and that was the end of it? Quick shell.
Picking up on something over here. I just got a huge spike of EMF.
He looks familiar because he looks like the guy from You. Very similar. So far, so good. I'm sorry, they're just so...
It's getting stronger over here by the closet.
Open up. Oh no, he turned on the lights.
There's definitely something going on in here.
Shots! Oh no. How could this happen?
Can
Melissa
poltergeist
says that's kind of the premise, creep. I think there's a movie or two and a TV show. To what?
activity be mistaken for demonic possession? The bizarre case.
Demons. There's always got to be demons. If we were drinking,
of
that'd be
a
a drink.
13-year-old boy believed to be possessed by the devil. But was he? When Lost Tapes continues. In 1949,
Okay, so
newspapers...
We've full-on changed from poltergeist to being summoned by a demon. Or possessed by a demon, sorry. Creep is the name of the show. Ooh, maybe we'll be able to watch it at some point.
Reported a terrifying story about a 13-year-old boy exhibiting
can't avoid 'em.
disturbing symptoms. Levitation, snake-like head rotation, and welts on his body that spelled out words. A priest was called in to perform an exorcism, and ultimately, this notorious
just the
case
plot of The
inspired one of the greatest horror movies of all time, The Exorcist.
I was gonna
But
say, you're
researchers
copying.
who later examined the case concluded that his physical symptoms were much closer to those associated with poltergeist phenomena.
Says who? Let's get back to that closet.
There's definitely something going on in here. Shots! Are you all right?
Did you slam the door?
Jesus.
I didn't touch the door.
Man, he went through the wall. Dang, this ghost has some power.
Whoa. What's back there?
What the hell? We gotta get downstairs.
Christy, check out what we found upstairs.
Murder, suicide. Interesting.
Did you guys hear that?
Hear what?
Here.
Leave?
That's what I heard too.
Accurate portrayal of EVPs.
It's all
Didn't
starting
hear
to make
that.
sense.
Check this out.
Lakeview, Colorado, 1985. Charles Weatherly, 25, is the prime suspect in the brutal knife slaying of his wife and children. Authorities believe Weatherly took his own life in the aftermath of the shocking incident. The address is this house.
I don't think Troy's had anything to do with this. There was.
Look, I know you're trying to continue the plot here, but who put the cut out newspaper articles in there in the first place? If it's a murder suicide, right? Or I'm not supposed to say that on YouTube. Dang it. Sorry,
a strong presence here.
So what are we gonna do? What's the plan?
She has
Try to make contact with whatever this force is and find out if it's this guy, Charles.
And if it is.
Agony's on top of it. Nothing
We gotta get him
slides.
to leave.
There are many ways to get rid of a poltergeist, and depending on the culture you're in, you would seek out different sorts of expertise. In the West, parapsychologists are consulted, sometimes even psychologists and medical professionals. Religious
Sometimes should be all the time, by the way.
authorities might be consulted, people who specialize in exorcisms. Many cultures have people skilled in the magical arts who can identify these spirits, see them, perhaps even communicate with them, and use various rituals and instructions for banishing them from an individual's life.
It is now 3 a.m., the hour in which paranormal activity is typically at its highest. We are now going to attempt to make contact with the presence in this house in order to draw it out.
Good.
Charles
Did we ever
Weatherly,
find the bear?
if that's your name, give us some kind of a sign. Come on, Charles. Show us what you got.
Okay, all right. Big plot hole here. They're right back to being like, to talking to the walls and going, oh, are you here, Charles? Are you here? That guy earlier got thrown through the wall. Why are you still in this house? Why are you still acting like it may or may not be there? Can there be more lights on in that room? You've seen this dining room setup before. All right, let me take a different shot here. All right, here's the dining room. Y'all recognize it? Let me know if you recognize that.
Come on, Charles. Show us what you got.
You just can't place it? It's okay.
What is it?
Nothing. I guess it was my
Accurate as well. Sees his reflection.
reflection in the window.
Man, you're gonna kill me with that.
Guys, he's here.
What's going on?
It's all happening so fast. I'm pausing it just so I can catch up here because we just saw so much. So she says, guys, it's happening, kind of for no reason. And then immediately stuff starts happening. I don't know how she... Was she claimed to be psychic? I feel like she wasn't, but maybe she is.
Let her go, Charles. Stop this. Stop it now. This is crazy, Jeremy. We gotta get out of here. No, we're not leaving.
Now you have to get out. Not when he got thrown through the wall like an hour ago.
This is a battle of wills. It's us against him.
Chrissy, can you hear me?
We're out of here, Jeremy. No, we can't leave. We can't let him win. You do not win, Charles. You hear me?
Jeremy, you gotta see this, man.
Too late. In case we got any audio listeners, it says too late. This is my one really big grievance with the show, is the amount of times they show the intro, the lost tapes flashing, so often. Dun, dun, dun. Man, Tuesday
Jeremy,
is
you gotta see
packed
this,
now.
man.
Are there a lot of people live streaming? I don't know. I'll pick a better day if there's a better day to go live.
Okay. Where's my inhaler?
Dog, come back for me. You'll be all right.
Shots! Shots! Shots!
Okay, Charles, you win.
Troy?
You go live at 4 now, not to step on anybody? I feel like the debunking community is just growing a lot, so... as the community grows, it's just kind of one of those things, right? Maybe we can all work out a schedule. But I just kind of liked Tuesdays because usually Wednesday through Sunday, I'm working on whatever video stuff I'm working on. And once I start, I really like to get going.
Troy?
It's happening so fast. So we've lost everybody else. Apparently everyone else is dead. And instead of looking for a way out, he's upstairs. Destination Spooky, welcome in, by the way. Your video today was awesome. I loved it. Especially the intro, but the rest of the video was great too. Very informative.
Troy?
Dog, it's not Troy. You're the last man standing in a horror movie.
Jeremy!
The deaths of Christy Johns, Bill Cooper,
Dang. Stabbed by himself. That one, I will say, I didn't see that coming. I didn't see that one coming.
and Jeremy Reinhold were attributed to coronary arrests. The episode of their series never aired. Shortly after the events of June 11th, 2009, the Goldens sold their home. Colorado real estate law did not require them to disclose any of the activity that had occurred. Over 2 billion people believe in the...
Yeah, so, yeah, Alyssa says, so wait, it's supposed to be based on a true story? So they say. So they say. I feel like this is a very Conjuring-esque situation where they've got, like, pieces of a story. Like, maybe that stuff about what happened to the guy who lived there is true, and then they make everything else up. So, it's kind of the vibe I'm
existence
getting.
of ghosts and poltergeists. But are these spirits confined to the unseen world of the afterlife, or do they live among us?
All right, here's my take. Hot take, that the panda did all of it. Nobody saw that panda again. We can't prove that it wasn't the panda. Did they steal Ed Warren's diary? And yeah, no, but they probably got some ideas from them. In my opinion. Well, guys, what do we think of that one? You guys like Lost Tapes so far? I don't know if y'all have seen it. I don't know how popular it really was. I just kind of watched them on YouTube. They're pretty awesome, though. Might make it like a thing. If you guys enjoy it, obviously. What are the comments? I just kind of want to read the comments. Ghosts aren't like other cryptids. You can't challenge them and expect to win. They're not only intangible, but extremely powerful. Okay, Andrew Lopez. Time for my show, Jeremy. You've been canceled. Okay. Okay. That one was pretty good. It works as comedy for me. Yeah. Fun, scary show. I don't know. I'm thinking we should look at some real stuff. Mix in some ghost, real paranormal ghost clips, I think. What are we thinking? The problem with ghost clips, and the reason I haven't made a video kind of covering them is, God, I just don't believe any of them, really. Like, there's not many where I think, yeah, it's even worth exploring the idea. You know, stuff like Ghost Tube, where I see it used in paranormal investigations today. I'm like, oh yeah, we should cover this. But it's kind of these Nuke's top 5, I feel like. Let's see what Nuke's doing. Plus, I already made a meme for Nuke's top 5. I don't think I can show it because it's private. It didn't seem to show up on my regular feed when I looked at my shorts. Ooh, I do not want to watch 25 scariest TikTok videos. Anything from TikTok is a no-go. You know? If y'all got any kind of interesting clips or interesting clip channels, let me know. I've seen like Bizarre Bub and some of those other ones, but I don't like the way Bizarre Bub talks. I don't know why. I just don't like it. Wayne says, as far as I'm aware, there's been no official record that someone has been killed by something paranormal. I agree with you. That would be big news. Let's go way back in time. Let's go oldest. What do you guys think Nuke's top 5 first video looks like? 10 years ago. Oh, he started with short creepypastas. Who would have thought? Nuke. He switched over immediately. I bet he privated old stuff, to be honest, but this is his first, as far back as we can go, real ghosts caught on film. Okay.
Hello, New Norway subscribers, and welcome to something
Nuke
a little
Norway.
different than
Man, we are far back. We are far back. I can't believe he's calling himself Nuke Norway. I don't like that at all. Agony Goose says, have you seen the I Love You stuff that the Ouija Brothers caught at a care home a couple of years ago? It's a full investigation, but strange stuff actually happens. I feel like somebody brought that up, but I've never seen it. Let's look. Ouija Brothers, I Love You. Can we look that up? Do the Ouija Brothers care if I skip through their video? I don't want to step on any toes if they're not usually okay with people watching their stuff. But I'm intrigued, Agony Goose. I am intrigued. I have been watching some of the Ouija Brothers stuff. I don't quite know what to make of them. Because on the one hand, like, they're definitely in a much different league than, you know, you got your... At the very bottom is, like, the boys. I'm actually going to put the boys at the farthest level down. Sam and Colby a little bit higher than them. And a lot in between. And then you get into this other kind of tier, which is where I'm going to put the Ouija Brothers. Where it's like, they're doing some stuff I don't like Ghost Tube, for example. Like, I mean, I don't think there's... I understand why real channels use Ghost Tube, because for viewer retention and the amount of silence that is on a real investigation where you literally just talk to walls the whole time, I know you want something to break up that silence and keep people entertained. The problem is that ultimately your goal should be evidence of the paranormal and not stuff like viewer retention. And you can argue against that and be like, well, you know, if you keep people engaged, your real paranormal evidence and real channel gets pushed to more people. So, you know, it's kind of a big debate. And I think I'm on the side of, because I was thinking about this a lot recently. And I think my take on it is that we shouldn't be using stuff like GhostTube for viewer retention. If, you know, if viewers aren't interested in the way you investigate with completely real tools, then I think it's time for some innovation, right? Try something new, you know, maybe like for instance, what I've been doing is I'm investigating claims. I'm not really talking to the walls at all. And that's intentional because I think that talking to the walls gets really boring. I don't think people want to watch that. And ultimately, the way I investigate, I don't need to talk to the walls. But you could innovate in any way. You don't have to do anything like that. Find some other interesting equipment, you know, or test some other paranormal theories. Something way out there, you know. There's a ton of stuff. I don't think they do copyright stuff. I've used clips of theirs before. Yeah, okay. We won't watch it in full. I'm gonna... Okay, here it is. I Love You, This Made Us Believe in the Paranormal. We're gonna kind of skip to the interesting part here. I'm sure it'll be the most replayed. Anyways, that's my take on that. And I think the Ouija Brothers fall square into that category of like, they're definitely not just making stuff up for views or anything like that. I don't want to imply that. It's just using some equipment that I think keeps people more engaged. And I'm still against it, but I'm obviously a lot less against it than what most of the paranormal on YouTube has become. So, haunted house. You know, the replays are kind of all over the place here. All right, we're gonna have to look a little bit, unless Agony knows where it's at.
Didn't hear anything.
Agree with that so much. I say it all the time. If it's on YouTube, it's content, not an investigation. Entertaining people is at odds with making interesting content most of the time. I think you're right, but I don't think it has to be. I think you can make entertaining paranormal investigations but we need to innovate. We need to innovate past the way that the fake channels do it, because that only really works if you're faking stuff, right?
Tiki. Yeah, what's that? What was that noise? Did you hear a woman's voice? A woman's voice? Go, Mike. Yeah, something like.
No, I heard what sounded like a it sounds like a robot turning on, or like some kind of battery powered device powering up, right? It's kind of got that doo-doo-doo to it. Listen again. Oh, it's basically where I'm at now. Awesome.
Tiki. Yeah, what's that?
Yeah, that's pretty clear as day, like the beep powering on. Oh, that was someone's notifications going off? Okay.
What was that noise? Did you hear a woman's voice? A woman's voice? Go, Mike. Yeah, something like that. Yeah, if someone's in here, we're just YouTubers looking around.
And I think that's an easy kind of, and the problem with a lot of audio evidence is the idea that if you're primed and you're in one of these, I'm assuming this is an abandoned, because they kind of do a lot of abandons. You're already on edge, and any noise, and this happens to me too, any noise can really sound like something.
This happened before, Ori? Oh, that was a woman's voice who said Mike or something.
I heard something say Mike.
Where did he say
Mike?
Mike?
It was just a woman's voice go.
Where was it coming from? Was it close to you two?
It was that way. Didn't you feel like it was that way?
No, more like that way.
But somewhere in this vicinity.
Yeah.
Okay.
What was that?
Yeah, like I do hear the background noise. Wayne says, I remember this. They actually debunked this themselves as a speaker system connected in the house. That's kind of the vibe I'm getting based off of the like powering on. And you can hear something else in there, but it's really faint, so.
That noise? A woman's voice?
Did they debunk it, Wayne? I'm not sure. I'm not familiar with this. I'm following what I only kind of know what Agony Goose has told me so far.
What was that noise? A woman's voice?
Oh, guys, I could have full screened this for you. I'm sorry.
If there's someone up the top of the stairs, just let us know so we ain't just coming up there and scaring you. We ain't security or anything like that. Where's my torch gone?
It's in your bag, ain't it?
Agony Goose says, I think they end up going upstairs here and nothing happened, but when they get back down the landing, they hear it. Okay.
Oh, yeah. Is there anyone up there? So me and Richard was upstairs and we were searching around, obviously, because we thought someone was in the building. And we heard what seemed like, at the time, the loudest whispering from a girl, which made it seem like it was right there. So we searched all the floors, we searched upstairs, we searched the lofts, we searched everywhere. And then we was like, with amazement, we couldn't find anybody. And that's when we went downstairs to carry on with the investigation. That was weird, that was.
I wish I
really
would do.
weird. Like it was like a proper whisper as well, like for us not to hear it.
Yeah.
That's what it was.
Okay. Spirit?
I'm just going to stand here just in case, because in the next my fucking knee, man. I hurt it yesterday though.
Should we go in the dark or?
Let me
This
just.
is a nice place for an abandoned. It's really well kept. Is it an abandoned, Wayne? Do we have any more info on this house? All of the ones I've seen them do, not all of them, but a lot of them have been abandoned. So I was thinking, this was also an abandoned, but maybe not.
Have a second. Just be quiet. There's
What
someone in
the
here?
fuck was that?
There's someone in here. Them
Whoa.
down there, I think.
Language.
Did you hear that, Stiff?
I heard like
much
proper
of it.
whispering, like.
Yeah. That
No,
was
it's someone's in here. There's no.
that
way.
is the most fuck.
Okay, wait. I didn't even hear it. I was too busy trying to be British. Are they British? Am I messing that up?
Did you hear that, Stiff?
I heard like much proper
of it.
whispering, like.
Yeah.
This must be before this. Lisa from the APRF says, "Hi, Paranormal Engineer. Can't sleep, so I thought I'd join you. I think you're absolutely right. People like to be entertained more than watching a serious investigation." Yes, I do think people like to be entertained. And the really hard thing, Lisa, is going to be being entertaining enough to kind of pull people towards the real stuff, right? Because it takes a lot. It takes a lot. And this community is growing, and it's growing well, and I think we're getting there. But there's a lot of room to grow. And I think what y'all are doing at the APRF is absolutely awesome. If y'all haven't checked out the APRF, y'all need to. They're doing some fantastic work. I just finished up y'all's infrasound investigation the other day, and I really enjoyed it, actually. Yeah.
There's someone in
What the
here.
fuck was that?
There's someone in here.
I can't hear it.
Them down there, I think.
Did you hear that, Stiff?
I heard like much proper
of it.
whispering, like.
Yeah. That
No,
was.
it's someone's in here. There's no.
That
way.
is the most fucked. It's got to be a person.
Yeah, if there's anyone in here, we're just recording for YouTube.
Okay, Agony Goose has some more info before we keep going. Abbey Field house, if I remember right. The last time I checked, it was partially demolished, so the whole thing might be gone now. Okay. Lisa says, "Thank you, appreciate it." No, thank you. What y'all are doing is awesome. Absolutely awesome. I'm looking forward to more of y'all's investigations. And I want to use some of the equipment y'all are using. I think the data loggers, and I've talked about this in other videos, but data loggers are awesome. And if paranormal investigators are not bringing them, they're missing out, because I think that could be one of the really key pieces of evidence. If you really capture an anomaly and you have a data logger to kind of record certain info, I think it could be huge.
Let me just have a second. Just be quiet.
What the?
Okay. Yeah, I heard it pretty clear that time, the "I love you." Let's listen again. Let's listen again.
What the?
And they've checked the whole house. We kind of aren't seeing a lot of the house, right?
Just be quiet.
What the fuck was that?
See, here's a huge problem with abandons. Like, you cannot ever guarantee that you're alone. At any point, somebody is going to walk up, and you're not going to be able, you're just not going to be able to rule it out. And so one thing I'm working on right now, we'll see when I get it done, is this isn't some massive engineering feat. I'm literally just going to get a giant pole. I think I talked to Kenny Biddle about this. A giant pole, and put a camera on it so that I can see the roof of any place I investigate. One, squirrels, because squirrels are 99% of what you're going to run into. And then another big thing is just to be able to see in all directions. So if cars are coming in or out, or people walking by, because there's almost no situation these days where you can really say with any certainty that you're controlling the environment. So the best you can do is just monitor everything. Everything.
Someone in here? Let me just have a second. Just be quiet.
I'm curious to see.
There's someone in here? Fuck.
I'm curious to see how they try to debunk this.
Did we check inside there?
That was the most.
I think this is one of the things you guys have got to remember is, at home, like, One of the most horriblest things is being in a building, not knowing someone's actually in here, and then them just watching you.
I think the cameras picked that up 100%. That was one of the loudest pieces of whispering I've ever heard.
Well, see, they should already be down there investigating this. I know that it's a little iffy on that because it's an abandoned and you can't just run downstairs if there is somebody, right?
That has to be cute. What? Say again. It was like, yeah, it was
I'm not
like a
gonna fault
woman
him too
muttering.
hard.
He was like,
Yeah, that's exactly it. Unless they're in that room.
Check that room.
Oh, yeah, checking it, because there's a girl in there. There's got to be somewhere there for you. There might be some young kids in there.
Right, we're coming in. Just get the poles out, Jace. Just get the...
Agony says, that's a great idea. I think microphone coverage outside would be good as well. Yeah, microphone coverage, at least. What I've been doing, and what I did last time I went to the Sally house was I stuck a recorder out there because I didn't have a camera that I could place outside, so I just put a recorder in front of the door.
Camera out, stiff.
No, don't be like that.
If they're not willing to come out...
There's someone in that room. I think it might be that room or them down there by the back. Yeah, because I never checked that room.
Right, we're coming in.
I think the amount of time that's gone by before they've gone in here, though, is too long. Like, if someone was in here, they could have just ran out. But I understand their fear in this situation.
No, nobody's in here.
There's no one in here. Well, the thing is, all three have heard that now. There's no one in there, Stiff. Griff.
There's no one in that bathroom at the back
No
of
one.
the river.
No, and that obviously
is the bathroom. Yeah.
Wayne says, I'd rather see investigations of teams investigating legitimate places that are reportedly haunted. Couldn't agree more with you, Wayne. Also, it makes things like investigating claims a lot better because you have something to work with besides the stereotypical ghost stuff. Agony says, I think I'd be peeing myself. Yeah, I mean, it would be tough. It would be tough for sure.
What about this little bathroom here?
I've checked this one earlier.
Oh, yeah, creeps. There are so much audio contamination, so I wanted to make sure I got every car passing and every person who walked by.
That was some of the most fucked up thing I've ever heard. We've heard a lot. Like, legitimately, I heard that.
Yeah, but it could be someone downstairs.
Well, maybe...
Say, and again.
And again, yeah.
Yeah, there's someone in here. 100% someone... The door's shut.
Don't do that, you prick.
It is honest.
I thought some person was coming right behind the back of me.
No, them just downstairs, isn't they?
Right.
No,
they've got to be downstairs because we've checked up here, have we? Have you checked that room?
Yeah. Yeah.
You checked that room?
Yeah.
Creep says, we can always tell when it's last call at Mueller's, the bar down the street from the Sally house. That's awesome, Creeps. That's awesome. Yeah, it was really unfortunate just how thin the walls were. It kind of made it impossible. Always important to cover your bases. Yeah, you... And this is the problem with, like, most places you investigate, is you cannot cover all your bases without hundreds of thousands of dollars in equipment and cameras. And so, personally, I like to investigate places that are smaller and isolated, but there's just not that many of those. There's not a whole lot of them.
That's shit. I knew that
I do like the
in, and he was like looking. He was like,
"Because he come by the side of me."
That was
funny. That was good. I like that. I haven't had that feeling.
I do an investigation with these.
Unless they're in. Could they be in the loft?
Nah. That loft is quite...
No, there's someone in this building, because there's no way.
My immediate thought, right, if no one is in the building, that the sound could have traveled from outside. They were upstairs when they heard it. It's really hard to tell where sounds come from. And that's another thing with the sound triangulation I was talking about is if you used a bunch of microphones and you triangulate, putting probably 2 to 3 in each room, and obviously this is something you cannot do in an abandoned, but 2 or 3 microphones in each room, and make sure they're all synced up and they go back to a laptop, you can actually pinpoint a sound down to about a foot, maybe a foot and a half, which is really cool. And I've been trying to make it work.
That voice
I'm in the
is
process of
paranormal.
We haven't checked all downstairs.
There's that one section to check
Diana,
now.
welcome in. Good to see you. How are you doing tonight?
Right, we're coming downstairs to check.
What about Stiff? What have you got on your back, kid?
What is he?
Whoa. What happened? He looks like the guy that we just watched who got thrown through the wall. Did they cut that part out? Vicky Ming, hi PE. I just woke up. Good morning. Good morning. Vicky, what area are you from?
Just everything started still a sec. Let me get it off your hair and that one.
Hello?
Just for the show.
Just for the show, especially.
Yeah, let's all be quiet. 2 seconds here.
I said Vicky Ming, but haven't we decided that it's for sure Vicky Imming, or am I just as bad as Seg? I've heard it 1,000 times now, and now I'm starting to panic.
Let's just be quiet a sec. Now, let me just run through the rooms, yeah? I've checked that room, I've checked that room, I've checked the room right at the top.
Next, he'll have Jam running out his sides.
Who's checked that middle room? You did, did you, Stu?
Yeah, he did, yeah.
I think you're right, Agnes.
Stiff's checked that one with Stu. That one's been checked. We've gone upstairs, checked both upstairs. Yeah. I've checked that room. I only see you walk in the door of that room.
You know... Okay, let's open these doors.
I like everything they're doing here. It's just a little too late, right? They should have been running, you know, if you take the fear and the fact that there could be a total stranger here, if this was a regular place, you should have been just like running down there. But I understand why they didn't. Vicky, I still haven't added you to the Side-Eye Guy Curtains tracker. I need to do that. I'll do it this week. I'm pretty swamped. I've got an investigation this weekend at a pretty well-known place that I think it'll be fun. It'll be very difficult. It's not going to be like the Sally house where I really have the ability to control all the variables, which I'm sad about, but still going to be a good investigation. So.
I've been in that room.
Yeah, sorry.
You've been in this one.
I've been in that one. That one Stiff's about to get away. I've been in,
no,
and we've got to check this one here.
I knew it was Vicky. I knew it.
Packet of tomato sauce and stuff.
Yeah, and we've got that one. I've been checked.
I knew it. Just forget I said that first part.
We checked that room. We're coming through that room. That door's...
Okay, I don't want to watch too much of their stuff. So that's the I love you. All right. I need to think on it because, you know, it is kind of a weird one, I have to say. And I've watched enough of these guys' videos to know that they're not just full of shit and gonna edit that in. I'm pretty positive that's not what happened here. Fireball always helps you think. Can we see that? Yeah. All right. Cheers, everybody, to thinking, to critical thinking. I'm going to get a poster right here, and it's going to be Sam Houston, and it's going to say, I want you to think critically. I don't know if you've seen that poster, but cheers, everybody. Good stuff. Good stuff. Hope everybody is having a great Tuesday. I promise I don't do this every night. Just on the streaming nights. This was debunked by I Am Spooky Goose channel. It was these things in each room that were still active. Little intercoms. See, that strikes me as true, Brian. Welcome in, by the way. I'll throw it back to the video. Because we've got that interesting little segment at the beginning that clearly sounds like something like coming to life. And my thought would be, if somebody has bothered to leave a speaker system and keep this place in a pretty, like, it looks like a pretty nice house, especially for an abandoned house, as I've seen a lot of the houses they go into, and they don't look like this. So my thought is it's security system. Shh, don't mention that guy. He's the worst of the geese. What's the problem with the Spooky Goose channel? Anyways. Yeah, so I'm thinking security system of some kind, and somebody turned it on and is talking from somewhere else, if I was going to venture a guess. What do you guys think? I'm curious. You can talk into each room. Okay. Were they able to see them in the video at all? Just out of curiosity, were any of these devices able to be seen? Fireball's good. It's okay. I was gonna use them for a video and then just didn't end up doing it. I think I already told you that, Wayne. You know what was good? I liked your song, your most recent one. I liked it a lot. I thought it was good. They were seen. Okay, cool. Then I'm going to put my money on that. And it would explain kind of the randomness, because it sounds very close to them. Like, it doesn't sound like it was coming from outside, but again, sound can be very misleading. Cool. That was fun. I like that. Thank you, Agony, for bringing that to my attention. That was a fun one. Again, I like the Ouija Brothers. I think they are on the better side of paranormal investigators on YouTube. You know, I think they have things they can improve on, just like we all do. I have stuff I need to improve on. Said it was a tape recorder. See, here's the thing, like, you have to be sure with debunking. And I don't think we have enough here, Vicky, to say one way or the other what kind of security system it was, or if it was a recorder or that kind of thing. It's really hard to say. Really hard to say. And I don't love, like, you won't hear me saying things like, oh, I think this is outright fake. Like, I do not really like the word fake. Because it puts, and I'm going to sound like Kenny Biddle for a second, but the burden to prove that something is fake is totally on you. And I want to get off the Ouija Brothers when I talk about this, because I'm not implying that this is fake at all. But yeah, that burden of proof falls onto you. If you can't prove it's fake, you really shouldn't say it. You shouldn't say it. Maybe we can find a good example of one we can prove in that Nuke's Top 5 original vid, though. I'm still shocked that this channel used to be called, what was it called? Well, we're about to find out. Let's go to videos. Oldest. I'm feeling good now, a little looser. Fireball's helping out. Is Debunk Paranormal putting out content? I haven't seen anything from them in a long time. I think they are. I think I saw him the other day when I was looking around at Debunkers. I think that was. I'm going to do one more fireball shot before we get in this next one. Cheers to the folks at home. Thank y'all for watching. I wish I was better at, like, shooting. Because I'm not actually good at it. Like, it just doesn't go down right. It never does. I'm more of a, like, sip my whiskey kind of guy, but all I've got are these fireball shooters from my failed attempt to make content last week, so. All right. Real ghosts caught on film. The oldest Nuke's Top 5 video we can find. Let's see what's going on.
Hello, New Norway subscribers, and welcome to something a little different for the New Norway channel. This is the top 5 scary and supposedly...
Number 15. Is that it? Wait, I'm trying to remember how it goes. It goes, the last thing somebody wants in their Burger King burger is somebody's foot fungus, but sometimes that's exactly what you get.
Real ghosts caught on film. The top 5 photos and videos in this list have all been examined by experienced photographic experts, and to the best of their professional knowledge, they have all found these photos and videos to be authentic.
Okay, we got Brian says, so I saw a video today from inside the mall in Florida that had supposed alien invasion. I can't tell if it's AI. Ooh, let's look at it. Let's look at it, Brian. We'll look at it right after this. Diana, I agree, something is making noise, but it's probably not paranormal. Yeah, it didn't strike me as paranormal. That was spot on. Thank you,
But
Adam.
in the end, of course, the decision is up to you. Are these images real proof of life after death, or just simple photo fakes? You decide. The Oklahoma impound lot ghost. One night in 2005 in a small city in Oklahoma, 3 cars were involved in fatal car crashes. The lifeless bodies of the drivers were pulled from the vehicles, and the mangled cars were towed to the nearby impound lot. When impound lot worker Kathy Henry checked the lot security camera, this is what she saw. The security...
I forgot we went back 10 years, so the footage just gets grainier and gradier. Yeah, it's pretty grim on that one. I don't like, I mean, it's all paranormal investigation to some extent involves the dead, but I don't really like when they get all grim like that.
The lifeless bodies of the drivers were pulled from the vehicles, and the mangled cars were towed to the nearby impound lot.
It was at Miami Mall that had 1,000 police and a supposed alien thing. Oh, I remember hearing about that.
When impound lot worker Kathy Henry checked the lot
Brian,
security
if you can
camera,
find the video, tell me what to
this
search.
is what she saw.
Okay. I mean...
Remains of several cars. Could it be the spirit of one of the 3 dead accidents?
Okay, it looks to me like one of those security cameras that doesn't do every frame, you know? Sky Talker, new sub incoming. Thank you. Thank you so much, Sky. Welcome in. Yeah, so those older security cameras, I know that they didn't actually record every frame, and so you could get this kind of weird effect where it kind of jumps around. That's kind of what it looks like to me. But thank you so much for coming in. All right.
Victims? When Kathy saw the footage, she immediately asked one of the other...
Yeah, I kind of think this is a real person. And that is my opinion. I'm not going to say this is a full debunk here, because I don't think we can know.
Workers to check the lot for intruders. The lot worker checked and found no one in the lot, and no sign of the strange apparition that appeared on the security camera.
You know what I've been seeing a lot of people talk about lately that strikes me as true is like, we've got to do more fact checking for the stories these top 5 channels tell about supposed, like found footage. Because I noticed with the Bizarre Bub, I watched John Wolfe cover a few clips where the story had been like completely made up. Completely. You think it's a bug? It could be, but it looked really human. But I'll double check. So if this is a bug, it would be very close
and
to
no
the
sign of the
lens.
strange apparition that appeared on the security
And
camera.
I think it would look more like... Let's see. Oh, okay, that was just that one little section there.
Victims?
It'd be an odd shape for a bug, I think. Tina, good day, good day. How's life? All right, Brian says type leaked footage of Miami tall aliens. Okay, I'll remember that. Leaked footage of Miami tall aliens. John Wolfe does have some good debunks, and specifically we were talking about, or he was talking about the stories behind them because they were extremely misleading from the Bizarre Bub guy. And I was pretty shocked that some of the claims they were making. And I kind of think that we need to hold these channels to a higher standard. How do we do that? I don't know. It looks huge for a person. I don't know. Crushed cars are a lot smaller. Looks person-sized to me. But we're at a pretty far distance. I'm gonna, and you'll see me do this a lot because I'm not one of the frame by frame guys. I'm not gonna claim I have those abilities. I'll leave that to Real Evidence. He's great at that stuff. And Beardo. I think they do a really good job, but I'm not quite as confident in my skills there.
In
Sky says that's what she said. Ooh.
1975, Peter and Diane Berthelot
I gotcha.
visited the Worsted Church in North Norfolk in the UK. Diane took a seat amongst the empty pews to say a short prayer. Her husband Peter snapped a candid picture of her as she sat and prayed. Later, when the film was developed, the couple was shocked to see the ghostly apparition of what appeared to be a woman sitting behind Diane.
This is early, too. We got to remember that. This is 10 years ago, which would make it 2016, which is crazy to me, actually, that 10 years ago is 2016. But it's the truth. We got to admit it to ourselves. Brian says, have you ever thought of putting an EVP recorder in a container where the air is pumped out? If you get an EVP without air to move the sound, it would prove the paranormal. That's a very interesting idea. I obviously haven't tried it. I'm not sure how I would make such a device, but I am very intrigued. That sounds like something that would be good for a lab setting too. You might have to hold on to that question and bring it up to Kenny Biddle. I think he might have a little bit more to say on it, but I like the idea. I like where your head's at, because those are the kind of devices and experiments I like and want to recreate. And eventually, if I make any money on this channel, I'm going to pour it right back into better equipment and better tests that we can conduct on these investigations.
Dressed all.
A Faraday cage or a bag. Yeah, I do want to get a Faraday cage. I really want the Faraday cage. That's on my list. And then data loggers for temperature, humidity, and a few other different types of data loggers are next on my to-buy list.
Unlike Peter.
Oh yeah, there's definitely some
and
AI.
Diane Berthelot swear that there was no one else present around Diane when the picture was taken.
Hey, have fun feeding
the couple
dogs,
later
Tina.
showed this photo to Reverend Petit, the church vicar.
This looks like a skeleton. This looks particularly interesting. Raw dive diode. Lisa, tell me more about that. I'm curious.
And inquired
I'm not
about
sure
the
I'm
strange
familiar.
specter in the photo. They were shocked when the Reverend told them the story of the white lady.
Okay, Brian's giving me more here. Says it would be a container with a little nub to pump out the air with an air pump. Any EVPs in an airless container should be impossible. That doesn't sound too hard to put together. I like the idea. I'm going to do some research after this, Brian. Also, Brian, leave a comment in the live, what do I call it? The video version, because there'll be a lot less chatter in it. And I'm going to do some research on that after.
That is said to have haunted the Worsted Church for more than 150 years.
Diana says, why would you take the picture during a prayer? Yeah, that's a good point too. Is like, it's always about the framing. How did they frame it? Because if the evidence of the paranormal is like center shot, it always kind of triggers my red flag alert, you know? Without saying outright that I have an answer, this one looks particularly like somebody photoshopped this one. But I'm not confident. Could be some kind of, you know, it could be a trick of the light here, and it's just one of those unfortunate cases, because you see how it kind of gets onto this bench right here? It could be some kind of exposure thing. That's actually what I'm leaning towards, the more I think about it, that this is some kind of issue with the exposure that has lit this area way up, and this is probably a regular person sitting behind them. Yeah. That's my final answer.
It is said that in the 1830s, a man laughingly dismissed the legend. boasting that he would climb to the top of the church bell tower at midnight, and if the white lady was there...
Lisa says, not too sure about the technical details. Hey, Lisa, by the way, I'd have to ask Wes about it. I do want to have y'all on from the APRF. I'll send you an email probably tomorrow morning to talk about it if y'all have any interest in it. Just bringing you on and talking about what y'all are doing because I think it's super cool and I'm very interested in it. So
there, he bragged that he would give her a big kiss on the lips.
I don't think it'll be a very formal interview or anything like that. I kind of just want to talk to y'all and people can watch if they want to watch.
As the legend goes, the man followed through with his ill-advised boast. He did indeed ascend the ladder to the Worsted Church bell tower at midnight.
Vicky says, Brian's thinking outside the box. What did Brian say? Oh yeah, Brian, yeah, about the EVPs. Yeah, that's super outside the box, and that's exactly what I like. I love that kind of outside the box innovation that the paranormal desperately needs. We need thinkers like that.
After the man's
More
friends
of
had
them.
waited an exceedingly long time for him to return, they climbed to the church bell tower to check on him. What they found shocked them to the core. The man was cowering in a corner of the bell tower, shivering violently and barely able to speak. Through quivering lips, he said simply, "I saw her. I saw the white lady." And then, without another word, he closed his eyes and died. The farm boy ghost of Hurt.
Was there anything to that, or was that just like a story? Did I miss it? Was there like actual evidence in here? Or was this just a story? Lisa says that would be great. Awesome. Awesome. I'm glad to hear it. Yeah, I'll email y'all tomorrow. Did I miss it? Did you guys see the clip? Is bro just telling stories? Story, okay. Apparently he was doing stories at the beginning.
Shire, England. In 2008, Neil Sandbach was photographing some scenic farmhouse shots to be used as the backdrop for a couple's wedding stationery, as the couple were planning to have their wedding at the quaint out-of-the-way farm the next week. Later, when Neil examined the series of digital photos, he was shocked to see that one of the images seemed to contain the bright, glowing figure of a young boy who seemed to be staring back at Neil from around the corner of one of the buildings. Neil says that he is
Okay. Again, strikes me as a real person just off the bat. Linda, welcome in. Good to see you again. Yeah, so we have to take his word for it that there was no one there. But, I mean...
sure that there was no one else present at the
I
farm.
think it's just a photo, right? Photos are tough, man. What are we saying? Jason Hawes put out a video this week that had non-stop activity. Can we watch it? I used to watch Jason Hawes way back when it was Taps. I loved it, man. I thought it was awesome. That was back before I was thinking critically about what I was watching. But I used to love... Kenny Biddle, welcome in. Welcome in. Ooh, Brian, if you have a chance, drop your question. I was just saying we had a question for Kenny Biddle. Yeah, if Jason doesn't mind us watching it, I will watch it. Non-stop activity is particularly interesting to me. And I honestly, like, I'll give my real opinion on it. You know, I know he's a bigger guy, and I know some, you know. Jason Hawes, it seems like to me, as someone who's kind of newer to the community, Jason Hawes and kind of like the Ouija Brothers are kind of situations people don't always talk about, but I think it's important to kind of give your honest opinion on everybody. And man, I used to love Taps. I not as much as I love Ghost Adventures, but it was a close second. It was a close second. I'm sure Kenny is cringing right now, cringing hard. By the way, hey, all the allegations. I did not rig the wheel on your show last week, Kenny. I didn't do it. I joked about it, but I didn't do it. I disagree with what he considers activity. That's a good point too, Kenny, because the threshold, what it always seems like to me is every team that goes out has this threshold of where they consider activity that they're going to show on camera. And that's the real thing, because even if you say, a lot of times, I'm not going to say always, but if you show it and you don't clearly outright say, I don't think this is paranormal activity, it leaves the implication that it is. And so you kind of get in this weird spot. Kenny, do you think he has a problem with us watching some of the... I'm just going to go to the replayed sections probably and look at it. You might have more info. And it was shocking. Where were they at? Jason does seem like a very good dude. I have been keeping up with some of his videos about the Conjuring house recently, and I thought he seemed very honest and genuine as a person. And I always think there should be a difference there with, you know, how people act on their investigations. And when I talk about people's investigations, it's not a personal attack. I just want to look at the investigation and the evidence they capture and what they consider evidence. Put that out there. Avion, welcome in. Welcome in. Okay, we're gonna go for it, and I will stop if Jason gets mad. Just kidding. Right? He's not gonna see this, but if Jason has an issue with it, I would just take it down or switch off of it. Okay. Videos. The calm before the investigation. This is latest, right? This is 8 days ago. Which one is it? Do you guys know? Denise, welcome in. You have plenty of time. Kenny Biddle says, if you don't find the cause of an experience, then you don't actually know the cause. I couldn't agree more. Couldn't agree more. And it is very hard to get a clear... And what I was talking about, something that's so important, because we just watched the clip of the I Love You Ouija Brothers that got brought to my attention. And what I said about abandons was that you can never control the environment in any way that's close enough to really consider anything evidence at all. But what they needed was a way to... They needed to have a camera up higher than the roof that could actually see out and confirm there's nothing going on the roof, obviously, and then that outside nobody is coming in during the investigation. Something you have to rule out every time you investigate if you want to do a true investigation, for lack of a better word. Okay. Hey guys, do we have an answer on which video I'm supposed to be watching? I'm loving the chat, by the way. Y'all are awesome. Sky Talker says, Kenny, I learned more things today. I keep learning. Yes. Always keep learning. I butchered that. I think it's continue learning. Can't believe I did that. I failed you, Kenny. For that, I deserve a fireball shot. From the bucket. We're almost out. Not from just today, though. I've been pretty good today up until now. Okay. And he said, Sky. Okay. Do we have an answer on which investigation we're supposed to be looking at? Man, Jason's killing it this week. My vidIQ is loving Jason. I'm sure I'm just not reading. I'll read better, I swear. Okay, Brian's checking. Oh, I forgot to switch the fireball cam, guys. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I'm excited though. I haven't watched a Jason Hawes investigation in some time, so I'm pretty pumped. Cheers, Vicky. Sorry, I know it's late, but cheers, everybody. Thank you for hanging out. Okay. You know what I was thinking about doing? I'm going to run this past y'all right now after a little bit of Fireball. But so one of my big hobbies is karaoke. And I'm thinking we can do a karaoke stream at some point. Maybe I can bring people on for it and we can all sing karaoke. I'll have to figure out the details there. But when you do not see me on a live stream or YouTube or hanging out with my lovely girlfriend and friends, I am at the karaoke bar every time. Every time. Brian says, got it. All right, what are we getting? It's something wasn't right inside. Okay, awesome. I'm going to go to the most replayed sections. And we will look through. Maybe, do I need some backstory here? Probably not, to just look at the clips. Oh yeah, these ones have some pretty serious spikes. We'll look at the first one here. 1320. Oh, I'm sorry. I always forget to full screen for you guys. I'm so sorry. Fireball's working. Paranormal engineers getting loose. May start singing soon. It is something I tend to do. It's something I may have a karaoke machine for home use. I'm just saying. I'm back. Did you miss me? We did miss you, Tina. We did. Good day, Mr. Paranormal Engineer. You're not rude, Sky. All right, let's see what we got.
It's like the Jaws theme.
Okay. All right, good start, Jason.
I don't know. I hope the mics are picking that up. That's beeping a weird pattern.
REM pod? REM pods are all over the place these days. People are getting their own custom ones. I'd rather they all stuck to one, because at least then you could kind of say you could say the same thing for every time the REM pod goes off, because I have no idea what this device really is.
You know what? I think we just screwed ourselves. We said we wouldn't walk near it. Yeah, it went off. I know. Sorry. We were just trying to be able to hear it better. Sometimes we get a little excited. We apologize. There it goes. There we go.
I'm a little surprised that this is a
Such a
replay
weird
session.
beep. It is.
Maybe people are really
It's like
interested in the REM pods, but I don't have a ton of interest in it. I will say they're better than spirit boxes. Better than spirit box. We'll do a tier list of all the investigation items at some point. That
Can you
sounds
make it go off continuous? All you got to do is hold on to it. Oh.
Yeah, the problem with this, maybe Jason explained it, since I'm just hopping in. I don't know what this is measuring. If it is just a REM pod, right? But it seems to be measuring more than one thing. Let me catch up on chat real quick. Nice. Karaoke may have to be careful on copyright. Thank you, Denise. That is definitely the problem with that. Yeah, maybe we have to make it like maybe we have to take it off YouTube or something. Which I could probably figure out. Do like what's the other thing that people do? Not members only, but there's that other app people use. Creeps. No, I already read that one. Tina, I can stop crying now. Yeah, Sky, you can stop crying. Lisa says we're working on our next investigation. Need it to stop raining. Yeah, the rain and ice has been killer, even in Texas. Twitch. Ooh, we could figure it out on Twitch or something. If Twitch doesn't care.
Okay, can you let off? What?
You've never done karaoke? Lisa, you gotta do karaoke. It is so fun. You go to the bar, you have a few drinks, and then that's it. You're ready. You know your song, you know what you want to sing, and then you sing it. It's beautiful.
Thank
Nothing
you.
better than karaoke.
Oh.
Okay. My comment is no comment on that one, to be honest. I don't, in my opinion, REM pod activity does not count as credible evidence. To me. My threshold is a lot higher, though, than a lot of people's, so. Next little, well, that section's too small. Let's go to this big one here. Okay, now we're getting into the real investigation because the lights are off. That's how you know. That's how you know it's serious, guys.
And if it moves from there, it's going to take some force. All right, so that one's there. We'll see what happens. We'll let this run all night, and we'll see what we catch. You expect to catch anything tonight, JV? You know what I'm wondering, though, is where's the elevator music? That's why you like to ride elevators, usually, because it's the groovy music.
You can't sing, though? That's the beauty of karaoke. You don't need to be able to sing. You don't. There are tons of terrible karaoke singers who get a round of applause. Y'all are all missing out on karaoke, guys. We're going to end up doing karaoke. He's doing karaoke. Jason's doing karaoke live.
That's perfect. Do I expect to catch anything tonight? I don't know. I'm really excited to continue to test theories that we can try to determine whether or not any of these objects that are being stored here have any kind of energy attached to them. I think that's our biggest...
Kenny, they said the magic word. I can't do another one of those fireball shots right now. They're going to hurt my stomach. I put a tiny bit of Malibu in this, though, so that counts.
Possible opportunity to catch something is based on the objects that are here.
Okay, so it's 25.
That's great. I think good footage.
26. Okay, so it's like a 3-minute segment here. We'll get to it. The night investigation. I don't drink, so it would take a lot to get me to sing. You don't have to drink. It makes it a little easier, I will say, but you can do karaoke. I've done karaoke sober. It's still fun. It is. Usual professional standards.
All right. We are going to the basement. All right, let's do it. This way. Oh, right. I keep forgetting the steps are here. Is my fly open? Oh, dude, I hate this game. No. Okay, good. It felt like it was open.
Did I miss Sky? Oh, that's so nice of you to say, Sky. I know it wasn't directed at me, it was just nice. Lights. Just turn them on. There's so much stuff you're gonna bump into down here. Just turn them on. If you catch something that could be potentially paranormal evidence, it would look so much better in the light. And you won't bump into stuff.
It was just so weird. I did hear it. Yeah. You think it was from over here? Yeah. Positive it was from over there. Well, that's the area where the soda jerks would have been. What the hell's going on? What the hell is that?
That sounds like wind hitting a microphone. And it might be because they're moving it. I'm not 100%. If that's what they're hearing, right? It might not be.
Well, that's the area where the soda jerks would have been.
What the hell's going on?
What the hell is that?
Sounds like something's up with the.
We just
the cover
left
for the
there.
mic or something, like a un.
That sounded like somebody just rolled
a cart across the floor.
It must have came out different.
Now footsteps.
Okay, we got the audio boost.
What the hell's going on?
What the hell is that?
Yeah, but what the audio boost does is it makes it a lot louder. So now I hear now I can hear that it sounds a lot heavier, but I think what's happening is it's just the audio boost that makes it sound louder. Just my first impression here. I'm gonna catch up on chat. There's not enough alcohol for me to karaoke. Tina, there is enough. Agony says, I also have a garbage junior theremin that never stops chirping once the battery is in. Soldered it myself, sorry. So guaranteed to be awful. That's pretty awesome, Agony Goose. I need to get one. It's the same stuff that the REM pod uses, right? All right, what else did I miss? Seen this already, can't quite remember it now. Yeah, we're looking at some of the highlights from it, 'cause apparently there was a lot of evidence in here. So far I'm a little underwhelmed, but we'll see. There might be more coming. Sky says, I serenaded Seg in a voicemail I performed my cover of Wind Beneath Your Wings. With no teeths in added vibrato. He hasn't replied yet. I think he's busy with whiskey. Hey, that was apple juice, okay? I don't know what this whiskey stuff you're talking about is. This is all just apple juice, by the way, YouTube, if you're watching this. That Fireball, it's just cinnamon flavored apple juice. How can a ghost make footsteps? It's a good question. We don't know enough about ghosts to rule it out, though. Could have been a car rolling by. Yeah, very
We just
true. I don't know
left
anything
there.
about the location. As
That
far
sounds
as
like
where the
rolled a cart across the floor.
Just something we would kind of need to know.
Now footsteps. Yeah.
I like to think these are pretty nice. Glitter, welcome in. I liked your video today, by the way. It was awesome to see someone else support SEG and the rest of the community. It was very cool. Very cool.
What the hell's going on?
What the hell is that? We just left there.
That sounded like somebody just rolled
a cart across the floor.
Okay, that's the earlier one. Okay, that's... Somebody's there. In my opinion, somebody is doing something above them, and they've captured that. That does sound like a voice to me, but it's all about what's above them right now, and hopefully they're going to explain that in a second, and I'm just haven't gotten to it. I don't want to watch too much of this video, obviously, but...
We just left there.
That sounded like somebody just rolled
a cart across the floor. Now footsteps.
I mean, it does sound pretty human to me. Spicy apple juice, yeah. Spicy apple juice. To me, that sounds pretty clear, like a voice. Here. I hope they tell us what's above. He didn't hear that voice. Okay.
Now footsteps. Yeah.
So just to put it all together, we have what sounds like a cart rolling footsteps, and then voices, which all is very human activity, and in the correct order, in my opinion. Or, I mean, that might be a bit of a strong word, but it's aimed at the area where the moisture sensor would activate. No one was in the room. Okay. Where's static cam 1? There's just a lot we don't know about the location here that is kind of holding this back from being good evidence. Like, for instance, what's on the other side of that wall? Like, is that outside? Is there a sidewalk out there where people are walking by? I've got a lot of questions here, so. That's, yeah, Lisa, I'm thinking the exact same thing. Are they in a basement that is under the street or close to the street? Because even if it's close to the street, I don't think you can count this. In my opinion. We're gonna go to the next one.
All right, there's nobody up here, so I don't know. Okay, I'm setting up this thermal towards where the soda jerks were spotted.
Gotta go. Got the nurse coming. No worries, Vicky. Have a good one. Thank you for hanging out. I really appreciate it. Soda jerks in the cellar. That rolling sound could have been a car rolling by from the earlier scene. I would assume that they were near the street level. Creeps. Good point. Good point. Creeps and Lisa, both good points.
It's quite a claim. Grab another one of mine. And we want to see if we can catch anything. Here we go.
Yeah, I hope you have a great night, Vicky.
Jim. Yeah. Any sign of like anything being moved?
No, maybe you can't get in. The place is locked. It's just us.
That is
And
so
the thing
weird.
is,
Like I'm looking around to see if there's anything to even like that would roll like that.
Yeah.
And the only thing I see is like an office chair, but
that definitely sounded bigger than an office
it's
chair.
in her office. I know.
It's all about the outside of the building.
That was
It's all about the information we really aren't getting. And it could be because I don't want to say he's not providing it with what we've seen. And the reason I won't go back is because I don't want to play his whole video. We're going to move on to the next section here.
Really interesting.
Now it's been quiet.
That on top of the REM pod hits we had earlier.
Yeah.
Very interesting. That was a voice.
Yeah, we got some like-minded people in here, some critical thinkers. I really appreciate that. Lisa and Creeps, great job. Great stuff.
And walking. Oh. Walking's happening. It's right here.
It looks to me like we're back down in that same area.
You got a camera mic on that thing too, right? Yeah, I've got a shotgun, yeah. Yeah. Aim it towards the floor because hopefully the camera mic is going to pick it up. That was a voice. And walking. Oh. Walking's happening. It's right here.
Like I said, I hear it. I just, without more evidence, we can't rule anything out.
You got a camera mic on that thing too, right? Yeah, I've got a shotgun, yeah. Yeah. Aim it towards the floor because hopefully the camera mic is going to pick it up. Over here.
That sounds more like maybe feedback or something. Oh, that sounds like a car.
Just doesn't make it.
That part right there, what do you guys think? Because that sounded like an engine. At the end there, Let's play that back. Right there. That sounds like an engine. I think they're close to the road. If I was going to put my money, yeah, definitely a car nearby. Yeah. And the fact that we get that, we can hear that car down here, means there's a lot of noise pollution. And it would be hard for me to consider any of this evidence with my own personal threshold. Let's go to the next big one. I'm thinking, and I'm not outright saying it, I just, in my opinion, sounded like an engine.
It sounded like it came from the next floor. Maybe she thought it was, maybe it was in here. And she assumed it was above her. I mean, just speculating a little bit based on a claim that we were told. I mean, yeah, it could have been if you.
Before we do this next clip, let's check in. Glitter says, that's a good point about the basement. In our house, the basement extends into the backyard behind the house. No reason it couldn't be the same here. Yep, totally agree. Creep says, definitely a car. We've investigated a couple of hotels which are directly under the street. They have the metal doors where they deliver barrels. Oh, that's a good thought, too. Huh.
Very different. Yeah. It could sound different. But I just mean this, like, I can't say, you know, it doesn't sound the same, but through a floor, maybe a little bit, but you're right, it does not necessarily sound the same. That's the only thing I see, like, with wheels, besides, like, our cases and stuff that are over there.
Yeah, I think we got to look further. We have to also know what's going on outside. I would love, you know, for some of these teams with a little more money behind their stuff, more cameras, more everywhere. There should be cameras. There should be cameras watching the cameras watching the cameras, in my opinion. Denise says, yeah, didn't see what the location is, but most of the places they go are in New England, small towns near downtown, historic places. Yeah, especially if you're close to downtown, I would assume. Lots of basements right near the street. Definitely, potentially a cause.
That's the thing. You can't move through here without making that. No.
Yeah, I don't think anyone was.
All right. Well, everybody's heading out to party somewhere. Yep.
Okay. We get a shot here of the outside world. And there are clearly people on the street. I think this tells us most of what we need to know. It looks to me like they are very close to the road. And we got people right there. And it's like Creeps was saying earlier with when they know that the bar downtown is closing. Glad they showed this. Yeah, I am happy they showed this. You know, I think this was good. This was good to see. Yeah, realistically, if you want, Kenny's talked about this a good deal, but if you wanted a real, honest to God, thorough investigation into audio, I think you have to have a very intimate knowledge of the location. If you don't, then you don't know what sounds are normal and what sounds are abnormal. Depending on things like the season, time of year, weather conditions, air pressure, air moisture, all of that good stuff. All stuff I think the APRF is starting to consider and do right with their data loggers. All stuff I think data loggers would collect. You just have to be in one place for a significant period of time, and that's where I think YouTubers YouTube paranormal investigators don't do that kind of stuff. So it's really awesome to see people who are and bring that knowledge to YouTube.
Yes, they are.
Very good, I think, of Jason.
All right, so we're in the ballroom, at Oneonta Historical Society. But the problem we're going to have is there's so much contamination from outside.
Here we go.
I mean, it's endless.
Yeah. All right. I think we've seen enough. So, Jason, good call talking about the noise contamination, something so many people don't need to be doing. I think we can sum up a lot of what we heard to that. And then you have the question of, well, you know, if you spent a whole night there, you're like, well, I think, yeah, I think it's noise contamination. Yep, need a camera down onto the street so they can correlate any activity to the sounds. Yeah, it did look to me here like it was a 3-story building, potentially. So it looked pretty high up, so you'd have to get a camera way up there. Probably higher up than I could stick, like, realistically, like a makeshift pole camera, like I was talking about earlier. We'd need something pretty fancy. Never stop learning, Jason. Never stop learning. I'm sure he knows that. He's friends with Kenny. Okay. All right. Honestly, that was a lot of fun. I liked that. Final thoughts on that investigation. You need cameras showing all sides of the house. Or, in this case, I think it was a museum. If you can't rule out anybody being in there, there's just too many contaminants. Common theme amongst every investigation, honestly. And it's not just Jason, obviously. I think that's gonna conclude the stream for tonight. We're doing this every Tuesday. I'm sticking to it. Unless, you know, I talk to somebody else and they're like, hey, we got way too many Tuesdayers and there's a better day. Maybe then. But I'll send out a post if that's the case. Thank you guys all so much for showing up and hanging out tonight. It's been so much fun. I want to give a shout out to Julie, Denise, Lisa, APRF. We've got the Creeps, Agony Goose. And we've got Sky, I don't know where she's at. Glitter. Vicky is gone, but shout out to Vicky as always. Wayne from Wayne's World of Rock Music. He's got some awesome AI tunes. Am I missing anybody? Tina. I don't want to forget Tina. And Brian. And Kenny Biddle. Thank you all for stopping by. It was tons of fun, and I hope you guys have a fantastic rest of your night. Great stream. Thank you so much. I am new to this and learning. Please, you know, forgive me for some of the less fun moments. I'm kind of making this up as I go, so learning on the fly here. Thank you guys so much. It's awesome to have y'all and hang out. And I'm looking forward to next Tuesday. And karaoke. We are going to do that. I'm going to figure it out. If we have to go to Twitch, we have to go to Twitch. I don't love Twitch. It's probably something a little better. All right. Bye, everybody. Have a good night. And as Kenny Biddle would say, never stop learning. Don't ever stop. You're going to have to rewatch Tori. Thank you so much. It should be a good episode. It's my favorite live I've done so far, but there's only been 3, so. All right. Y'all have a good night, and I will talk to y'all later.